This is the story of a new kind of Marine. A Marine who, if successful, is not supposed to fight. His mission is not combat, but reconnaissance. He is the Recon Marine. At home in depth ranging up to 60 feet, the Recon Marine is skilled in the uses of face masks, Mae West, and flippers. At home as well at 2,000 feet, his basic gear also includes the full jumping equipment of the airborne parachutist. Frogman and paratrooper, he is the Marine Corps' answer to the changing military demands of modern war. This is our story, The New Marine, as the Prudential Insurance Company of America presents the 20th Century.
You men are here because you're volunteers for duty with the 2nd Force Reconnaissance Company.
Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, home of the 2nd Force Reconnaissance Company. Here, volunteers from all branches of the Corps get their first taste of what it takes to become a Recon Marine.
While you're here, today particularly, and for the rest of the time you're here, I want you to do exactly as you're told. Exactly.
Up! Oh! Up!
At full strength, the Force Reconnaissance Company numbers 147 enlisted personnel and 14 officers. But the actual recon work, the information-gathering missions behind enemy lines, is entrusted to only a small handful of 50 specialists, selected from those who survive a grueling screening process.
Get up, get up! Who told you to get down here? Get up on that bar! Get up! Get up! Get up! You need some help, huh? Do you? Get your behind down. Get it down. Let's go, let's go. What do you think you're doing there, huh? You think you'll leave or something, do you? Answer me, Marine, do you? Yes, Sergeant! Well, let's start doing the exercise. Yeah, what are you waiting for over there? What are you, huh? You going to sleep on me, man?
No, Sergeant.
Are you a Marine?
No, Sergeant.
Are you a Marine?
Yes,
huh?
Sergeant.
Well, you don't look like one. Get that head up. Look straight ahead. Get on your knees. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing down on your knees?
Nothing, Sergeant!
Recon, Recon, where you been? Recon, Recon, where you been? Around the base, and we're going again. Around the base, and we're going again. All Recon, Recon, Airborne, Airborne, Scuba, Scuba, Ranger, all
A daily 2-mile run is routine, but most of the trainee's time is spent in the classroom. Here he must become proficient in such subjects as map reading, long-range photography, and telegraphy, skills that may well hold the key to success or failure of some future mission.
Recon life was it. Not this Recon life was it. Now she's someone else's wife. Now she's someone else's wife. And I'll be running for the rest of my life. And I'll be running for the rest of my life. Here we go. Here we go. 1 mile. 1 mile. 2 miles. 2 miles. Every day. All the way. All the way. Blood. Blood. Guts. Guts. Blood and guts. Blood and guts. All the way. All the way. Ah. 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 Ah.
In the Navy diving tank at New London, Connecticut, Recon Marines are taught the techniques of buoyant ascent, the official method of surfacing from a submerged submarine. Sometimes called blow and go, buoyant ascent is based on one simple fact of underwater life. As a man rises toward the surface, the water pressure decreases and the air in his lungs expands. The trick is to continually exhale this expanding air. Failure to do so means rupture of the lungs. This Marine followed instructions to the letter, but seconds later, one of his buddies is in trouble. Instructors alert for just such an emergency quickly pull him into a safety lock at the side of the tank. Shaken up but unharmed, he makes the trip to the surface in a diving bell accompanied by a doctor. At St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, groups of recon men who have qualified at the tank in New London board a submarine to finish their buoyant ascent training under realistic conditions. Successful ascents have been made from 300 feet, but 50 feet below the surface is a more likely depth for discharging a forced reconnaissance team.
We've all been through the trunk and checked out, considered qualified. There shouldn't be any sweat going up to the surface. Do you have any questions? All right, let's go.
A Mae West life jacket is necessary for a buoyant ascent in tank or ocean. The human body would not rise without it. But now, 2 new pieces of gear are added. Flippers for swimming to shore and a face mask to protect the eyes and nose. With them, the recon men also take, in these waterproof bags, all the clothing, food, and equipment necessary for the successful completion of their mission ashore. They will leave the submerged sub through the escape trunk and ascend to the surface.
Preparing to flood down.
Fine to flood down.
All right,
First, seawater is let into the trunk.
flooding down.
Flooding down.
Securing the air vent.
Securing the air vent.
The rising water compresses the air in the trunk, and by manipulating a vent, the team leader equalizes the pressure of this air with the water pressure outside. By the time the pressure is equalized, the water reaches the necks of the men.
Preparing to secure the flood.
Preparing to secure the flood.
Securing the flooding.
Securing the flooding.
Flooding is secured.
Flooding is secured, aye.
All right, prepare to go. Number 1 man preparing to leave trunk.
Before leaving the trunk, a man fills his lungs with as much air as possible. Outside the submarine is a safety man wearing scuba gear. At his signal, the first member of the 4-man team blows and goes. On the surface, the recon team starts the long swim to shore. Weather conditions, enemy surveillance, and underwater terrain determine how close to the beach a submarine will come. For these exercises, teams swim up to 5 miles before they reach the beach. Once there, the orders are clear. Change into camouflage uniforms and proceed to the objective. Gather information. Then continue across the island to the opposite beach, change back into swimming gear, swim out to the still submerged submarine, and descend into the trunk. To accomplish all of this within a predetermined time limit is a back-breaking assignment. But for the Recon Marine, it is only half the assignment. Ahead lies the Army Jump School at Fort Benning. There they teach frogmen to become paratroopers. The Army Jump School, Fort Benning, Georgia. Here the Recon Marine meets a hard man, the Army Airborne Instructor. The commands are curt, the salute snappy, and the instructions loud.
Go! 1,000, 3,000, 3,000, 4,000! Elbows in tight. Recover. Stand up! Go! Oh, your feet and knees together. Start to count sooner. Recover. Stand in order. Have on. Go! 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000! Elbows in tight. Recover.
The 34-foot tower. For the first time, the men will experience a shock like that of an opening chute.
Ready! Go! Roster 150, third man in the stick, Sergeant.
Roster 150, third man in the stick, satisfactory exit. You look very good. Recover.
Hey, Sergeant.
Roster 152, sir. Fourth man in the stick. Roster 152, fourth man in the stick. You're counting late. You're not counting when the balls of feet leave the floor of the aircraft. You're waiting for the opening shock before you start your count. You may strike the ground someday and then start your 4,000 count. It'll be too late then. Is that clear?
Yes, Sergeant.
Recover.
Roster number 1, fourth man in the stick, Sergeant.
Roster number 1, fourth man in the stick.
Right here, sir.
There are only 3 men in this stick, Sergeant.
Are you awake? No, come on. Third man, Sergeant.
What are you now?
Roster number 1, third man in the stick,
Are you 3 or are you 4?
Third man, Sergeant.
Roster number 1, third man in the stick. You have a satisfactory exit. Let's remember what man we are in the stick. If you can't remember that, you can't remember enough to jump out of an aircraft in aerial flight. Recover and get 12 squat jumps.
4 man for the right, sir.
The 250-foot tower, and 2 new sensations, floating to Earth in an open chute and hitting the ground.
Toward the ground, you don't look up before you kind of be there. Head and eyes straight to the front. Relax, just stick. Relax, press 7 feet, complete your burn, you that boat.
Slip to your rear 1. Be relaxed to the hips and knees. Head and eyes straight to the front. Bend your knees slightly.
And then then the real thing. The Recon Marine makes several jumps from an altitude of 1,250 feet.
Master, get up! Stand up! Hold up! Taxi, come up! Stand up! Come on, check! Now keep your knees together, make a good parachute landing fall. All right, let's go quickly, man. Roll those parachutes up, put them in your kit bag, and move it here on the double. Let's go all the way on the double. You're airborne now. Let's go all the way. Let's go, man. Roll them up quickly and get it here on the double. Let's go airborne all the way. Let's go.
We've seen how they get the Recon Marine in, how to get them out from behind enemy lines. It's done by plane, helicopter, or submarine. The method you're about to see is experimental. It is not operational, may never be. The man to be picked up is Marine Gunnery Sergeant Levi W. Woods. He will be picked up on the fly. From his harness, an inflated balloon carries a nylon line aloft. A P-2V Neptune with a special yoke will snatch the line and Sergeant Woods, and an electric winch will wind him into the plane. United States aircraft carrier Forrestal somewhere off the East Coast. From its deck, a recon team will take off on a mission which duplicates as far as humanly possible the actual conditions of war. There is one exception. Here, the enemy is the clunk. If everything goes according to schedule, the mission will be a success. The team has been thoroughly briefed on the objective to be reconnoitered, the type of information wanted, and the nature of the country through which it will have to travel. The objective, an air base. What activity there? How many planes on the field? How's the security? Now let's get photographs. The men will jump from a jet, an A-3D twin-engine long-range attack aircraft. Inside, it is just large enough to seat the 4 members of the team. flies as close to the ground as possible to minimize the possibility of radar detection. Approaching the drop zone, the pilot must gain altitude so that the recon men will have room enough to jump up to 2,850 feet. Over the drop zone, 15 to 20 miles from the objective, the pilot throttles down and opens the door of the plane. A3D heads back to the carrier, and the recon men are on their own. For them, the period between bailout and touchdown holds the greatest danger. This is when detection is easiest and capture most likely. Safely together on the ground, two members of the team creep toward the objective. The most urgent information is radioed out immediately. When their mission is completed, they will arrange a rendezvous with a plane from the carrier. They may stay behind enemy lines for days or even weeks. In operations like this, where minutes can mean the difference between success and failure of a mission, the pickup plane can land and take off within 45 seconds. This time, it's an abandoned airstrip. Next time, it might be a highway. Back to the carrier. Traditionally, the men of the Marine Corps have been fighters with a fierce pride in the fact that they have often been the first troops ashore to engage the enemy. That is still their role. But today, a small band of Marines have been taught to move in before the battle, before the first wave, with cameras and radios. They are the Recon Marines.